Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everybody doing today? Coming back at you with another video. I wanted to talk about men's accountability. Um, I do a lot of videos on here addressing the females, addressing the women. If you guys look at my content, you will notice that I do a lot of videos on here addressing the women. I try to educate women on single motherhood, the difficulties of being a single mother, um, trying to encourage young ladies to abstain to a marriage, not if you to prevent single motherhood at all possible. So, and then just educating women, telling my target is the young ladies of situations for men to avoid, to take more responsibility of their bodies and so forth, so on and so forth. I do a lot of videos addressing the women on here. But I noticed that when I do a video addressing the men, now when I do a video addressing the women, I did one video, the chances of getting married is if you're a single mother, your chances of getting married is not good or something like that. And I got a lot of hits on that video. And I had a whole lot of men come in there and say, "Yeah, you right. I'm not gonna date no single mother. Ooh, yeah, you right about that. I'm not gonna date single mothers. I don't date single mothers, and this and that and the other." A lot of them was in full agreement on that video. It was a while back that I did that video. And other videos that I've done, addressing the women. The men come on, sometimes I get men coming on and they're fully in full agreement of what I'm saying. Yeah, and I don't, and they'll say, "I don't date single mothers," and all this kind of stuff. But I noticed when I do videos addressing the men, uh, when I do videos addressing the men, because I'm not gonna let the men off the hook. That I noticed that they're silent, or they'll come on and make little remarks like, uh, "Stop blaming men. Stop putting all the blame on men and take responsibility." So they either they're silent and they're not saying anything, or they're coming on there making comments. They're deflecting, and they're saying ain't nobody said nothing about not taking no responsibility. And they'll say, "Oh, stop blaming men." Well, the video is not about blaming men, but it's about holding men accountable. So see, they come on there and they deflect and they make little comments like that, or they just don't say anything. But then when I do a video addressing the women, they at one I got so many comments from men on there. You right about that. They was in full agreement, or they not saying a word, either one or the other. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to talk about men's accountability. Because I do a lot of videos on here addressing the women. And so there's two sides to a coin. There's two sides to a coin. And whereas we all know that, it takes two people to make a baby. It takes a female and a male to produce a child, because females can't produce children by themselves. I mean, let's face facts. We don't have the power to reproduce ourselves. We can't reproduce ourselves. Um, it's some insect that does that. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if you know what insect that is that reproduces itself. I think it's some type of an insect. They reproduce themselves. Well, us women, we don't have the power to reproduce ourselves. We need a man. We have to have a man to help us produce a child. There ain't no getting around it. And they have to have us to help them produce a child. So it takes a man and a woman together to produce a child. So if a woman and a man comes together and has sexual relations and there's a child that's produced, well, both were willing participants. 50% is on the woman, 50% is on the man. I think we all can agree on that, you know. So it's not like it's not 50-80. I mean 50-80. It's not 20-80 where it's only 20% of the man's fault, but it's 80% of the woman's fault. It doesn't work that way. It's 50% on the woman and it's 50% on the man. Because just like that woman had a responsibility to her body to protect herself, well, that man had a responsibility to his body to protect himself as well. So I hear a lot of that on here when I even when other women do videos addressing men about or in comic sections on different videos, they always say, well, you women need to take responsibility and stop blaming men. Oh, they never hold the women. And I've even heard men on here, I'm not going to say no names, saying, oh, they never hold women accountable. Well, what planet are they living on? What planet are they living on where women are not held accountable? They're in clear denial. They are in clear denial that women are not held accountable. Women get most of the blame for unplanned pregnancies. Now, I will admit there's a lot of birth control options out there for women. And I've stated in other videos there are a lot of birth control options out there for women. And when it comes down to it, it really is no excuse for a woman to, if she really doesn't want to get pregnant, can't get pregnant, and she really doesn't want to get pregnant. But the men have a responsibility as well. If a man does not want to impregnate a woman, and he knows that he doesn't want to impregnate a woman, he's going to either do one or two things. He's going to abstain from having sex with that woman, or he's going to use a condom. And he's going to make sure he uses a condom so he doesn't impregnate that woman. So that man does have a responsibility. That's abstinence. Abstinence is always a good thing for women and men. It's abstaining. But if you don't abstain, you need to use a condom. And that's what I tell my sons. I preach abstinence. They don't listen to me. And I say, well, you need to use protection. If you get someone pregnant, you need to man up and take responsibility because she didn't get that way by herself. Now, that's the philosophy in my house. And so this theory of saying, well, women should take responsibility. Yes, women should take responsibility for their bodies. I agree with that 100%. But men need to take responsibility for their bodies as well. Because we have a fatal disease out there, and that fatal disease is HIV. And guess what? HIV does not discriminate. HIV does not discriminate. Doesn't say, well, I'm just gonna infect the women, but I'm not gonna infect the men. No, HIV does not discriminate. It will infect a man just as well as it will infect a woman. Okay, so with that fatal disease being out there the way it is, everybody needs to protect themselves. The best thing to do is abstain until marriage. There's consequences to not abstaining until marriage. If man has sex with a woman and he is not married to her, and he gets that woman pregnant, then you are leaving your reproductive decisions. You have unprotected sex with a woman. When a man has unprotected sex with a woman, he is leaving his reproductive decisions in that woman's hand. Now, I hear a lot of men on YouTube saying, well, If a man gets a woman pregnant, she gets pregnant, and if the man doesn't want anything to do with the baby, then she needs to have an abortion. No, abortion is murder. Abortion is not a birth control method. Abortion is murder, plain and simple. And guess what? If she does have the abortion, that baby's blood is on your hands. Don't think that your hands are gonna be clean. It's not. Jehovah God is gonna hold you accountable. He's not gonna just hold her accountable. He's gonna hold you accountable as well. Because you told her to get the abortion. You encouraged her to get the abortion. So that baby's blood is not only on her hands, but it's on your hands as well. See, it's interesting how men think that they can tell a woman to get an abortion and even drive her to the abortion clinic and all that kind of stuff. But somehow they be thinking their hands is clean in the situation. You are an accessory. You are an accessory to murder. That's what you are. When you encourage a woman to get an abortion to kill a baby, because it's a life at the time of conception, you are what they call an accessory. And what do they do in the court of law when someone assists in murdering someone? And someone assists in murdering someone, well, that other person goes down as well. Well, we're talking about God's courts, because we all know that in most states, I think except for Alabama, good for Alabama. Alabama just passed a law. I think I did a little video talking about that, where they outlawed abortion. Good for Alabama. Good for them. More states need to follow suit. That's man's laws lining up with God's laws. That's a beautiful thing. More states should follow suit. But in most states, unfortunately, abortion is legal in most states. So in this case, because it's the man that made it legal in most states, we're looking at God's law in the court of God, in God's court. In God's court, it's murder. And you are an accessory. If she goes and you say she gets pregnant, and you say, well, they don't have an abortion, and she goes and have that abortion, you are an accessory to that baby's murder. So God's going to hold you accountable as well. He's not going to just hold her accountable. He's going to hold you accountable. That baby's blood is on your hands as well. So I'm just letting you know that. Because abortion is murder, plain and simple. So you go tell a woman to have an abortion, it's murder. If you don't prevent the pregnancy, you don't use a condom, you didn't abstain from having sexual relations. Like I said, when the woman gets pregnant, you are leaving your reproductive decisions in that woman's hand. She decides to have the baby, then you, as a man, you are financially responsible for that baby. Whether you say, well, I don't want the baby, well, if you didn't want the baby, you shouldn't have had unprotected sex with the woman. You shouldn't have had sex with her at all. Men should not be having sex with women that are not their wives. If a woman is not your wife, you should not be having sex with her. The Bible, when God wrote the Bible, he didn't just write it for women. He didn't just put his laws down in the Bible for women and then say, well, these laws are for women, but they're not for the men. No. When God's laws, biblical laws, are for men and for women. It's not just for the women. It's for the men as well. So when a woman shouldn't be having sex outside of marriage, now a man shouldn't have sex outside of marriage either. So if a woman shouldn't have sex with a man that's not her husband, but a man shouldn't be having sex with a woman that's not his wife. If she is not your wife, then you should not be having sex with her. And you certainly shouldn't be having sex with a woman that you don't want to mother your children. If you didn't want this woman to mother your children, to be the mother of your children, Because men kill me with that. They get a woman pregnant and say, well, I didn't want no baby by her. And they do this selective fathering thing. They have multiple babies by multiple women. And they do this selective, stay tuned, I'm going to do a video talking about that. They do what they call selective fathering. They pick and choose which child they want to be a part of. Well, I didn't want no baby by her. Well, my question is, if you didn't want a baby by her, why did you have sex with her? Why are you having unprotected sex with a woman that you don't want a baby by? That doesn't even make any sense. That defies logic. Make it make sense. Why are you having unprotected sex with a woman that you didn't want to be the mother of your children? Why are you even having sex with her at all? Unprotected sex at that. So they do the selective fathering thing. They pick and choose which kids to be because I didn't want no baby by that woman over there. And then they say, oh well, you get somebody pregnant, she has the baby. Well, oh, she was a whore, she was a thought. Well, if she's a whore or a thought, what does that make you? If she was a whore or she was a thought, then what does that make you? You had sexual relations with her. What does that make you? Okay? So, I just hear men making statements and comments like that, you know. And um, just as a man, you got to take responsibility for your body. Because once you get a woman pregnant, you got to realize that you're leaving your reproductive decisions in that woman's hands. If you have unprotected sex with a woman, you are putting your reproductive decisions in her hand. Because once she gets pregnant, then it's her decision to have the baby. Whether you wanted that baby or not, you are going to be financially responsible for that baby. In a lot of cases, the women, you know, file child support, or in the state of Michigan, the state automatically files it. If the woman goes down for any kind of assistance, then she automatically files. The state of Michigan automatically files the child support. So that baby, that the financial responsibility is going to be on you to help support that child. So it's like either abstain or use protection, plain and simple. And then men get women pregnant, and then they cry about, oh, she got me on child support, and this man, oh, that ain't right. Well, you helped make the baby. You did, in fact, help make the baby. So if you help make the baby, then you have to help take care of it. That's called being a man and owning up to your responsibilities as a man. Because real men take care of their families. Real men don't make excuses. They don't make excuses. They don't uh, try to run away from their responsibilities. They don't cry and complain about having to support their child. They just go on and do what they got to do as a man. And they take responsibility. That's what a real man does. A real man takes care of his family. How many kids, however many kids he has in that family, or whether they're more than one woman, whatever the situation is, they take care of the family. They take care of their families. Plain and simple. So you're 50% responsible for that child. Whether you guys realize it or not, you're 50% responsible. Ain't no sense in putting all the blame on the woman. Because if you have, like I said, you have unprotected sex with a woman, you are leaving your reproductive decisions, you're putting all your reproductive decisions in her hand. And if you don't want it like that, then you should take precaution. First of all, abstain. If you don't abstain, then you need to use a condom. Plain and simple. So that's why I say, I wanted to do this video talking about men's accountability because, sometimes men, they get women pregnant and they be thinking that, Like I hear it in the comment sections and stuff all the time. Well, you women need to take responsibility. They deflecting. You need to take responsibility and quit blaming the men. Well, you need to take responsibility and quit blaming the women. It goes both ways. Y'all 50% responsible for the baby. It's not just on the woman to take care of the baby. Well, if she gets, oh, this is a good one. She gets pregnant, then the man doesn't want the baby. She has the baby. Well, she shouldn't file child support. Or she shouldn't ask for no money for the child. Huh? But you helped make the baby. You helped make the child. You helped produce the child. As a man, it's your responsibility to help with that child. Plain and simple. And don't come to Michigan. Don't come to Michigan and get a woman pregnant because you automatically going to be put on child support. Not by the woman, but by the states. I don't know how many other states has that, but Michigan has it. So don't come to the state of Michigan and get a woman pregnant. You through. So I don't know. I just hear these comments from men on YouTube and in the blogs and everything. I hear these comments from men or men doing videos and they're saying, "Oh, the man don't want to do it. She shouldn't file child support." Well, if you're not helping to support the baby, then that's pretty much the protocol. If you're not going to help support the child, now if you help support the child and you stand up and do what you're supposed to do, then she don't might not have to file the child support. But if you don't do what you're supposed to do, then what's she supposed to do? Or some men will say, well, she can't, if she wants to get assistance, then she can't take care of the child on her own. Last time I checked, it takes two people to financially take care of children. Last time I checked, it takes two people. It takes a man and a woman to financially provide for a child. Last time I checked, it wasn't just the woman's responsibility, financial responsibility, to provide for the child. It goes on the man and the woman, the mother and the father, to provide for the child. That is here as a result of both actions, right? So why knock a woman for getting assistance? If the woman is not getting any help from you, then she doesn't have a choice. If she's not making a whole lot of money. If she's not making a lot of money, she needs a little help. Why are you knocking that? If you're not helping to support the child, or the man is not helping to support her, they'll have the audacity to make that statement in reference to other men and other women. Well, if the fathers are not helping, then what do you expect a woman to do? Wages aren't very high. A woman has got to do what she got to do. So at the end of the day, it's just as much, the child is just as much your responsibility as it is hers. Plain and simple. I don't believe in this 80-20 thing. I don't believe in that. A lot of guys, I think they subscribe to that. 80% of the woman's fault, 20% of the man's fault. Okay, let's say hypothetically speaking, you use a condom. Let's say hypothetically speaking, the condom was used and it busted or whatever or broke, and the woman got pregnant. Then what? Is it all her fault, or is it both of y'all fault? If y'all wasn't married, y'all was having sex outside of marriage. It is what it is. Child is here, so now you gotta do what you gotta do. Plain and simple. And you can't get upset for that woman for not going to the abortion clinic because abortion is murder. You get upset for a woman not having an abortion? Well, abortion is murder. Oh, you're mad because the woman didn't kill the baby? Wow. You're upset because a woman did not kill an innocent little baby. So you can run from your responsibilities. Doesn't work that way. The reason why she didn't go through with it, because it's murder. And a woman has to live with that for the rest of her life. Now, some women, they go to the abortion clinics and they do it more than once, and some women, believe it or not, don't have much of a conscience in that area. Some women have more than one abortion. Now, if a woman had one abortion, she might feel bad about it and then say, well, I'm not never going to do that again. You know, that's her bad. You know, God can get past that. But if a woman just keeps doing it over and over, they have no conscience about it. That's, that's not okay. It's murder. If you want a woman to have an abortion and she doesn't have it, well, she didn't have it because it's murder. Duh. Plain and simple. It's murder. She didn't want to commit murder. She didn't want to be a murderer. Can't knock her for that. So that's what I want to talk about, this men's accountability, because, I do a lot of videos addressing the women, but I'm not letting the men off the hook. Man is just as much responsible for the child as the woman is. He's 50% responsible. And both parents need to come together and do what's in the best interest of that child. And if you don't want to have a child with a particular woman, then it's simple. Then don't have sex with her or use protection. That's simple. It's not rocket science. It's not hard. Okay, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Um, be nice. Be respectable. Um, if I get some bad comments, I know that I'm probably striking a chord or hitting a nerve on somebody. So I know how that go. I didn't hit a nerve. Okay, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. If you're new to my channel and you're watching this video, you like this video, hit the like button and also hit that little subscribe button. If you're watching it on your computer, it should be a little box down there, or on your phone, it should be a little box down there that says subscribe. I need you to click on that subscribe button. It's a little box. Click on it. It doesn't show up if you watch it. If you're watching me on your TV, it doesn't show up on the TV. But if you're watching me on your phone or on your computer, it should pop up. It's a little box there with subscribe on it. I know it's popping up because it pops up. It pops up. I set it to. I set it like that to where it'll pop up. So because when I click on my own videos, if I'm on my computer or my phone, it pops up. Okay. So that little box in that corner, hit that button. Hit that subscribe button for me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Please and thank you. Stay tuned. I got some more interesting video topics coming up. Peace and love. This is Sweet Jude.